All right, hello everyone again. Eva and I wanted to give you a brief update about the PURA Syndrome Foundation. As you know, we were installed as co-presidents of the foundation in February and have since spent a lot of time getting to know the people and procedures necessary to successfully run the foundation. While we know there's a learning curve, we are confident that we'll be able to build on the hard work of our past board presidents and members in order to move forward. Sorry, we're working two computers here. Before we get into the foundation portion of the presentation, I'd like to take a moment and thank all those who made this conference possible. First and foremost, Nancy Baccia, who has been an integral part of our PURA family since our virtual conference in 2021. Nancy has organized this conference as well as our past two conferences, so we're very grateful for her dedication to the PURA Syndrome Foundation. We couldn't do it without her, so thank you, Nancy. I want to give her a round of applause. Special thanks to our speakers, Julie Batalana, Sandra Burchick, Jim Dowling, Annie Godwin, Derek Garacki, David Hunt, Eva Kate, Robert Janowski, Dirk Niesing, Bettina Schmid, Tom Shakespeare, and Kathy Zarnak. Thank you. And to our conference committee, who's been diligently working since January, maybe earlier, yeah, since January, myself, Eva Kate, Tina Schmid, Carolyn Thorpe, Eva Tucker, Melissa Vaught, and Mel Warda. And a special thanks to Jim for helping organize the Global Research Network meeting that took place on Friday. So thank you. So just quickly on our mission and values, our mission is to support and drive research, raise awareness in the general community, as well as connect, educate, serve, and empower families impacted by PURA syndrome. Our values are respect, that everyone is valued, community, that everyone belongs, teamwork between the foundation, families, clinicians, and researchers as one. And I have to say this weekend has really brought that to a really special light for me, just seeing the researchers work together and how incorporated they have been into this entire conference. Continuity, our plans for future growth and change, and responsibility in how we, in ethics and governance. So this year in the numbers, we have 620 cases, known cases of PURA syndrome worldwide. 306 pathogenic variants identified. There are 53 countries with known cases of PURA, 20 researchers in the Global Research Network. We had 9 studies published in 2022 referencing PURA, 8 worldwide PURA syndrome ambassadors, which Eva will talk about in a little bit. We had 4 research grants in 2022 and 23 that were funded by the PURA Syndrome Foundation, and just shy of $70,000 raised in 2022. Before I move on though, a special thank you to Melinda Anderson and Cecil Van Heckel for their diligent work keeping track of our known cases of PURA. Wrong way. It takes a lot of heart and dedication to build and grow a global patient organization. We remain grateful to all the board members, past and present, who have contributed their time and energy in the service to our beautiful PURA community. So our current board of directors are myself, Jen Bierling, who is our secretary, Damon Fisher, where is he in here? Oh, you're right in front of me. I'm sorry. Damon Fisher, who is our treasurer, Eva Kate, Carolyn Thorpe, Eva Tucker, Melissa Vaught, and Mel Warda. We want to also thank our board members who have stepped down over the past year. We want to thank them for their service and commitment to the PURA community, which include Amanda Shanks, John Erickson, and Todd Vaught. I'm going to pass it on to Eva now.
All right, I just want to talk briefly. As Liz mentioned, it's been a learning curve. We becoming presidents in February, and I just want to talk about a little bit of what we've learned so far in this process of taking our deep dive into this role. I want to start by saying it wasn't a decision that we took lightly. we knew it was an enormous responsibility, and that's why we decided that neither one of us wanted to do it alone and that we were going to do this together. We had already been working very closely together the past few years on the virtual conferences. We built the conference website together, and then we had been working on the new PURA syndrome website together. So we knew we were a good team, and that gave us a lot of confidence in taking on this really big responsibility. And so it wasn't just us that we can't do it alone. We also realized, you know, the foundation is, we're so reliant on so many people. We have a wonderful board that works well together. We have wonderful volunteers. We're so grateful for our scientific advisors that are always there for us when we have questions and reach out to them. We have a new legal team that has been wonderful, that has offered us pro bono services, and also our husbands and family. Our husbands have been true partners. My son Mark's here with us today. He's always jumping in when I say, I got to get on the call with Liz and watching his brother. We just really appreciate everybody, Liz's wonderful family that's here with us. It really takes everybody for us to be able to do this. And as Liz mentioned, we've been really taking a deep dive into where we are at with the foundation, with the Global Research Network, and where we have been and how we've gotten here. And we've really learned that we're building on the work that came before us. And we've been in all of the things, that all the contributions by past board members, by the research team, and just learning about how everybody has contributed over the years. And we're just building on that work. I keep thinking of, in my mind, of the idea of a relay race. That's why I put the picture here, or passing on a torch. You know, I think Tom Shakespeare spoke really well about a village and about, you know, not putting too much on one person. We're picking it up, and we're also thinking about, we're going to be having to pass it on. We're not going to be able to do this forever. So we're just grateful for that. And you know, I'm not going to lie. We've navigated a lot of challenges that come up in situations as we arise. And Liz and I have really, you know, it's nice to have each other to talk through those things and to work through it and to try to make decisions. And we always come back to stepping back, realizing, you know, trying to understand where people are coming from in these situations, doing our research, doing our due diligence to make sure we have all the information that we need, and ultimately asking ourselves what's best for our PURA loved ones in our community, and really grounding ourselves in our missions and values. We really left our ego at the door when we took on this role, and we try to just really focus on the big picture in every decision that we make. Oh, got to change the slide down here. No problem. We want to talk a little bit about our ambassador program that we launched in 2022. Sorry, I'm getting a little. Caroline Thorpe, I want to thank her. She has put so much heart and soul into getting this program going. Our ambassadors are wonderful. You can see we have 8 ambassadors here now. Jennifer Harold, I think she left. I was going to give her a special shout out. But she was here at the conference this weekend. We're just so grateful for them. Our ambassadors' role is to welcome new families when they come in and first receive their diagnosis and reach out to us, but also help families at any point in their PURA journey, help answer questions directed to that region. They host online meetups. They have been assisting with translations. They've been assisting with people joining the registry. I mean, I'm in awe of what they do, because, you know, when somebody comes in with a diagnosis, we all know the emotions that go along with that. And, you know, they're bearing a lot of those emotions and helping people through it. And we're just so grateful for them and everything that they do. So they're not here, but in case they're watching online, I think we should give them a round of applause as well. And something we've also been working on is an affiliate program. And this is something that Caroline has also put a lot of work into. And so what the affiliate program is independent, nonprofit, or NGO organizations in different regions. So again, Jennifer Harold is starting a PURA Foundation in Germany. And so that's going to be our first affiliate, and they are their own separate legal entity, but they work under the same shared ethics. And in collaboration with the foundation, there may be some shared resources as we go, but it gives them the ability to do fundraising in their own country, support specific research projects that may be in just their own country, and gives them a little bit more flexibility in that regard. And I think it's going to be a great addition to the foundation as we grow. And Australia is also looking at starting their affiliate program and funding some epilepsy research in Australia. So it's going to be a great way for us to be able to expand our reach and support region-specific programming. I want to talk a little bit about our new website that we launched. It was a process of updating and reorganizing all the information we had gathered on our original website. I think the original site was probably made in 2015-ish or so. And we had been cobbling more and more information over the years. And so it was a time to sort of reorganize that, take what we've learned, clean it up, update some of the information. We went through a process of meeting with families, understanding their needs through different stages of life, thinking through all the different people that would be coming to the website. It might be a family that just got a new diagnosis. It might be a clinician that just got a new patient with PURA and they've never seen anyone with PURA before. And so we haven't launched, but we're still going to be continuing to improve it and build upon it and make sure that everybody has the information that they need. So just going to highlight a few pages. We have a page for people that are newly diagnosed. We have our PURA 101 page that breaks down the key questions and terms in an easy way. What else do we have in here? Our research page makes it easy to highlight the key research papers. We also have a link out to the full search of PURA on PubMed that has all the research that's been published that mentions PURA syndrome in it. And then what we're really going to be focusing on coming out of the conference is the resource section. So we want this page to be we want to fill this page with resources to help families with disability resources specific to their region. We're going to be working on building out a clinician network page. So we want to gather a list of all of the clinicians that are working with a number of PURA patients so that we can make that available as people are looking for care. We welcome suggestions on what to include. If you have a good resource that has been good for you and your family, if you have a wonderful clinician or neurologist, anyone that you're working with, we would love for you to reach out to us so that we can include that in the site and sort of crowdsource that information so that we have a good, full, comprehensive resource section that can be broken down by region. And we also welcome guest blog posts. If you're a writer or you have something on your heart that you want to share with the community, reach out to us. We would be happy to publish that in the blog. And then next, to just talk about a little bit about how the foundation supports the registry and biobank. We've talked a lot about it this weekend, so there's not a lot more to say, but we fund a grant to pay for a research nurse for the registry. We've been supporting regional meetups and trying to help people get registered. And then the foundation will be providing ongoing funding for the biobank.
Brief financial report. So donations, as I said before, were just under $70,000 last year. And our expenses were about $15,000, for a little over $14,000. And we wanted to let people know that 2022 is a year of unusually low spending by the foundation for a couple factors. One was because we had a lot of volunteer help. We had very minimal expenses to host our 2022 virtual conference. And then one of our research grants that was approved in 2022 wasn't actually paid out until 2023. So that will be an expense on our 2023 account. In addition to the annual conference, we focused on launching our new website and ambassador program, which was all done with volunteer labor. So Caroline, me, Eva, we had a lot of volunteers helping with that. So we didn't incur any expenses to launch our brand new website or the ambassador program. The foundation support for research nurse for the registry and fellow of the biobank paid out prior to 2022 had not been completely spent down. So there were actually no expenses for that in 2022. So
2023 is going to be much different.
So fundraising goals, we're planning to ramp up our fundraising efforts with 3 main goals in mind. Even with 2 presidents of the foundation now, we're finding that the workload requires a full-time dedicated executive director. So that's one of our goals going forward. We're also continuing to discuss ways in which we can support families in ways that will allow them the flexibility to do things on their own time. And an example of that is like an online resource specifically geared towards PURA syndrome patients. We heard Tom talk about how we need self-care. We need all these things to care for ourselves. And it's so hard to actually exit our own world to get those resources. So we're trying to find ways to come into your home that are more accessible to you, that can give you a little bit of respite, at least from a mental standpoint. We're also interested in funding more research grants going forward to support the research for PURA in any way that we can. So you can contact us if you're interested in holding a fundraiser. I have this little picture here, and some of you might recognize Carly. Carly did a fundraiser for us last year. She did a Yorkshire 3 Peaks hike, and in doing so, raised money for the PURA Syndrome Foundation. So it's a really easy way for you to do some outreach to family and friends doing something that you enjoy doing. And then there's other ideas available on our website at purasyndrome.org. There are many ways you or someone you know can help our PURA Syndrome Foundation at this time. One is hosting meetups, which are our social gatherings for our PURA community. A lot of our ambassadors are planning those meetups, but I think, you know, if there's people interested in holding more, that's always welcome. We would like to start a PURA sibling meetup group. So if anyone is interested in helping with that, if you have any adult children that would be interested in hosting, we'd be interested in speaking to them to start something like that up. If you didn't see your country represented on our ambassador page, consider volunteering to be an ambassador for your region, and you can reach out to Caroline at any time. She'd be happy to speak with you. Our annual conference committee is always looking for people to help plan our annual conference. Next year is our 10th anniversary, so we would like to have a special celebration around our conference. So if you're interested, please contact us. So we talked about the resources page a little bit, and those are going through different phases of stages with your children. It would be really helpful for you to take notes and help us with our resources page. I know in the States we have many adults transitioning into the adulthood, and in each state there's different rules. So we have different people taking notes so that we can add that to our resource page to help people along with that process. So in the UK, we know it's different. In Germany, Spain, we know it's different. So any notes you can offer us to add to our resources page would be extremely helpful so that we can help other parents along. Okay. Then the other thing is also we're looking for volunteers maybe to help run a Zoom session to assist other PURA parents filling out the patient registry. So anything we can do to encourage parents to complete the registry would be very helpful. We could also use a dedicated social person for social media, especially leading up to and during our conference would be extremely helpful to us. I'd like you all to just take a minute to think of someone in your life who's not a primary caretaker of your PURA child that might be able to help us with one of these areas. For example, yesterday, a few of us talked about some of our family members that aren't able to help us take care of our PURA family, but they might be able to help us in other ways. So maybe your father-in-law is an amazing website administrator, or your daughter-in-law, your future daughter-in-law is really good at social media. If there's someone you know that can offer their time and talents to the foundation, please don't hesitate to reach out to Eva or I at the email on the screen, and we look forward to hearing from you. And at this time, we'll take any questions you may have.
Thanks. Just a quick question regarding donations. Where would we pay that to?
So you in general, or like directing people?
If I get someone by one source or another, where would I then, in pound sterling, where would I pay that to?
Wouldn't that be through the link on the website?
So we can take online donations through the website. That's the easiest way to donate. But Damon's our treasurer. He also receives large donations directly to him. And so there's been like, if there's like a corporate gift or some sort of like giving in that way, we can connect you with Damon to organize that if you like needed to send a check or something like that.
In all currencies?
We have not received large donations from other currencies yet, so probably going through the website would be best.
Okay.
Online.
Yeah.
But we would figure it out.
We'll figure Kronas, lira, pound, we'll figure it out.
I know when Carly did her fundraiser, it was directing people to our PURA Foundation donation page, and that was in US dollars. One of the things I would like to do is see if we can allow people to pay in their own currency. I'm not sure if that's possible, but they were able to at least use the website to make their donations for that fundraiser.
The system we use converted it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Network for Good is a fairly robust. I would be surprised if you could not pay in your own currency.
And are you contactable via the website or?
We all are.
Yes.
You want to tell them your email address is?
Sure. Right now?
Yeah, is it treasurer@PURA?
No, it's da.fisher.
Okay.
da.fisher@purasyndrome.org, but it's on the website.
It's on the website. If you go under donations, his name and address are listed.
I'm easy to find.
And there's a general email on the website too. If you reached out to that, we'll get you connected with the right person.
Can I
I
say
spoke
something?
to you both yesterday about the guilt that I felt that I hadn't filled in the rest of the registry and registering James. Started the initial process, but life gets in the way, etc., which isn't an ideal excuse. I think David mentioned potentially about a reminder coming out to us. So if we get to a stage to say, keep us going, because that magic number is the 100, really, isn't it, for us all to be able to get maybe some more answers to the questions that I know that we asked 5 years ago. And I'm guilty of being one of those people who hasn't registered and given you the information that you require to feed back the information that we desperately want about, the different ways PURA affects our children. The other thing as well that helps me on a daily basis, and Liz and I have spoken about this, is POPs. It's the place that I go to for the good and the very sad news sometimes that we get with those who unfortunately do pass away with something that's maybe related to PURA. I think historically, David, 5 years ago, when we were talking about 2 individuals, it was double pneumonia that had got them. And I know that Phil and I were worried about our Sam and James because they were 18, and when we were worried about this life-limiting condition, have we only got maybe 8-9 more years with our boys? And then when we found out, I think very shortly afterwards, the lady who's 53 years of age, I have to say it was one of the best pieces of news I'd got. I think one of the most important things for us all is to continue to communicate with each other. And I personally have been absolutely over the moon to meet some of the children that I've seen on the Facebook pages over the last few years. So fabulous. Thank you.
Great. And I think if you've already started the registry, the reminders will come from the research nurse because we don't have access to the information of who's actually signed up. So we can send out general reminders to everybody. But is that correct? The research nurse periodically sends out. Is there anything you want to say?
So far, we haven't been sending out reminders, but this is one of the things that we, I think, will need to do. It's obviously striking a balance without wanting to pester people or be seen to be trying to coerce them to give the data, but at the same time, just a gentle reminder that, you know, there are modules that maybe haven't been completed, and I think deciding what the time frame should be. So I think if we know that somebody started something and hasn't come back within 3 months to add any more, then that might be a good point to send a reminder email. But of course, we appreciate that life does get in the way, and ultimately that is on us to think about what the right time frame is to contact people. And obviously we have plans to make this iterative, to go back to everybody, even if they've completed their data year on year, to update it, because actually that's what gives us the depth and tells us how things evolve over time. So there will be annual reminders anyway, but I think that we need something before the annual reminder, just where we know that we don't have a complete set of data, where clearly someone was minded to share that with us when they registered, but we appreciate that we're asking for a lot of information and that most people aren't going to sit down for hours on end to fill that in one go. But we will sort that out because it is a priority.
Just a couple of quick points there. Regarding the patient registry, yeah, I'm guilty. We didn't do anything on that until I sent the email yesterday to sort of get the ball rolling on that. And just touching on what you've just said there, which made me realise, I mean, Sam's 23 now, so for a long period we've not had many changes, but recently we have. So the annual update is going to be sort of prevalent there because his situation has changed slightly regarding his osteoporosis, etc. So that's relevant. The other thing regarding POPs, I ditched Facebook sort of 2 years ago just because I was fed up with it. And there was so much rubbish on there. The one single thing that I miss is POPs. Is that available on any other platform?
So we do have an Instagram account, but it's not like the community on Facebook. But you could join Facebook and then just limit everything to POPs. It is an option.
And just to be clear with everyone, the foundation does not manage the POPs page. That is managed by an individual group of volunteers. So we don't have any, I mean, we're active members as individuals of the POP page. And we, can communicate with them. But we also have, like she said, Instagram. We have a mailing list that you can sign up on the website to receive email updates if you're not already. Since everybody registered for the conference through Network for Good, you should be on our email list now. If you're in person, I guess virtually too. Yeah, but we can think about that as we go. And I think with the email updates, you'll get the meetup and links for that. So that would be a great way to connect with people ongoing if you're not on social media to attend the meetups. Those are all on Zoom. Other questions, comments?
May I speak? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. You can log into Instagram with your Facebook or. So we can do that with our foundation page, but we actually just recently linked that with our Instagram account, but the POPs group is separate because it's a group instead of a page, and it's independent from the foundation page.
Eva, and I
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I want to say one last thing. I want to thank you and Liz for taking on this phenomenally difficult and complicated job and doing the website as well. You have been truly remarkable. And I think everyone owes you a great debt of gratitude.
I was just gonna say a couple things. I know Eva said it before, but we always have our children at our heart. And now that I get to see all your children in person, I mean, I know we get to see them on Pops, but seeing them in person, I want to take everyone home with me and the parents too, but it's so wonderful to see everyone and just get to know you in person. It's been really a wonderful experience for me. I know it's been for my family, and I hope it's been for all of you too. So thank you.
Thank you. I think with that, we will close out. We're going to have lunch together and then go our separate ways. So safe travels to everybody. Thank you all for being here. And we just much love to everybody.